Welcome, everybody, to the Hound's Tale podcast. Tonight, we are going over the traits of a hound that we are looking for. I'm joined, as always, by Dylan Watson and Daniel Evans. My name is James Hudson. First off, I want to kind of kick in that, kind of go over our weekend we just had. We were able to get down to Hollywood, Fox Preserve, and get a little pleasure running in. Definitely appreciate those guys letting us get in. And, me and Dana were talking about it earlier. We met up with some guys down there. They were pleasure running at the same time, and we cannot remember those guys' names for nothing. I am terrible, terrible, terrible with names. So if y'all listening, shoot us a message, and would love to hear from you. And I really enjoyed hanging out with y'all for a little bit and working with the dogs and listening to some good running. So, Dylan, I think it was a pretty good night overall. We had a little trouble here and there, but as far as just kind of our dogs, but the pen was
Yeah,
absolutely jamming.
yeah, the pen was jamming. It was, I wouldn't call it an off night, but it almost seemed like an off night for our dogs, honestly. They just
Right.
didn't do like they normally do. They acted a little funny for some reason. I don't know if it's because they don't know the pen like they do pools. So, I mean, that could have been the problem there.
Yeah,
But it was some good running for sure.
absolutely.
They
When they
did
were
good.
going, they were jamming.
Yeah.
But that kind of is a good little run on into the topic for the night. The traits of a hound. Uh, a lot of people kind of have asked about what do you look for in a hound, and everybody's different. I would say, you know, uh, there's certain things that some people like in a hound that other people's don't consider to be a high priority on their list. This is one we always joke about, but I like coloring. That sounds like a weird one to start off with, but I love a certain coloring. Me particular, I'm a solid white or a mostly white tricolor, kind of that old school looking solid white dog with little black and like light tan or brown patches all over them. That's my two favorite coloring options, I guess you could call it on a dog. I know Dylan, you're kind of fond of the red dogs, right?
Yeah, I like my red dogs and I like my solid white dogs.
That's
And
right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my tricolor dog, especially the way Georgia. Georgia is gorgeous. I love the way she looks. She's
Mm-hmm.
got the little bit of that, almost like a blue tick type stuff going on in her white. But yeah,
That's a
I mean,
that's a good comparison. Yeah,
yeah, I'm not too keen on color. I mean, I mostly all the colors as far as foxhounds. The only ones that I cannot stand, and you and Daniel love them for some reason, is the freaking brindles. I don't like a brindle. I do. I despise a brindle. I don't know why, but I guess it's because I got a boxer at home and he's just annoying as hell. So that might be what's throwing it off.
yeah, Dana, you're kind of with the brindles. You like the brindle look of a dog, don't you?
Oh yeah, I love a brindle look. Lemon and white, another one of my favorites. But the two I got, of course, are black and red, and some white, and I grew to love that color too. So I'm not really too picky.
That's right. I like any color that'll run good.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I
which
think
those
this
two are mostly like a blanket back. I
right.
guess that's what some people would call them.
Yeah,
And
It's
you talking about
almost solid black with the red and white.
yeah. You were talking about the brindles, and for the longest time, I didn't really care for a brindle. I never liked the look of it. I thought it looked like a screwed up tiger running through the woods, or a cheetah or something like that. But I don't know. It's starting to grow on me the look of them. I haven't brought myself to looking for one yet, but they the look is starting to definitely grow on me. But like we're kind of talking about, the coloring's not really a big deal. We joke about it, and everybody's got their preferences. If I can if I can get my way and have a white dog, then that's what I'm going for. But if there's a powerhouse dog that's a brindle, and then the mom could be a red dog, I don't care if the thing comes out looking like Tony the Tiger. If it runs through the woods, I don't care. But I guess on a more on a more serious note, for me personally, growing up in the deer woods, and it's taken some time to kind of get accustomed to the speed of a dog. But me personally, I love a dog that will hunt. I love a good nosed dog. It's just something about, to me, watching a dog work in the woods and be able to jump and run his own game and not becoming a quote unquote me too dog. Um, that's important to me. A dog that's got that drive to want to get in there and put his nose in the ground and find something that he's looking for. I'd say that's of all traits, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, mainly what I look for, say, as a puppy, is the heart. He
Mm,
he wants it. Like, you can tell a difference between a dog that wants it and one that's just I guess you could say there
there, yeah, yeah,
in a way. I mean, a dog that wants it, he's gonna go and look for it. So like a pin that just the running dies in it, he or she is gonna put their nose down and hunt and try and find something to run. They've got the heart, they've got the want. That's a good trait that I try to look for in a young dog,
right.
especially.
You talk about the when the running dies down. Like we talked about when Dennis was on the show with us a couple episodes ago. Pools is a great pin, and it will jam a lot. But there are times, and it's because of the foxes. It's nothing necessarily to do with what the pin is done or doing, but foxes are smart. If the weather's not right, or if they're tired, or if they just don't feel like coming out the hole that day, the running's going to break down. And if it breaks down, if you got that dog that can get in there while everybody else is out running the roads and trying to find a hunt that's already going on, if you got that dog that will get in there and make his own game and make his own running, that dog's going to win you a hunt. It may
Oh
not
yeah.
win, but it's going to place. That dog could be as slow as molasses, but if it gets in there on an off day, that's you know not jam packed running the whole time, then it will absolutely place and do good for you in those types of deals. And not to mention being on the outside, you know, you got a dog that hunts. My one of my tree stock dogs, that Vader dog of mine, he's got one of the best noses. And I'm not saying it's just because he's mine, but he's got one of the best noses I've ever seen. It's almost too good sometimes, where he'll stick on such a cold track, the rest of the dogs don't know what the heck's going on because they can't pick it up. But that right there is just something that it just drives me wild about a good dog is a good nose. Now, Daniel, I know you're kind of still getting into this thing, but what's a trait that since you've started with us that you really want to look for in your puppies coming up?
I definitely the hunt. Like I said, I
Yeah.
mean, I got one Chief. He since I got him has always put his nose down and kind of ran around, and the other puppy just likes to run. I mean, he just goes. But I have noticed more that since I've gotten Chief, Shepherd kind of puts his nose down a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely one thing that I have started looking at.
That's right. That's right. And you can, like you said, you can tell and you and Dylan both kind of touched on that. You can really tell at a young age that
Oh
whether the
yeah.
dog is going to have that hunt in them. If a dog has got, a puppy's a puppy. It's going to have play in them. It's going to have uh, a little bit of wandering and short term attention span. But if you got a dog he breaks out into the woods on you for a few seconds, and the first thing he does is put his nose on the ground, 80% of the time you could almost tell you that you got a hunter right there. Dylan, I haven't been able to get up with you and kind of walk with you with your puppies any yet, but I know the two of the same litter that I got, that me and you got. Every time I take
Yeah,
them out, they'll play a little bit, but once I let them kind of free roam and get out into a field or get into the woods, if they're not playing with each other, their nose is on the ground, either trying to find their way back to the road that we come or back to the lot, or they're just exploring and putting their nose on the ground.
yeah. Both of mine are doing great with that. I've noticed because I try to take them out at least every evening and work with them on the bench a little bit, and
Right.
I'll let them run around and whatnot. And sometimes I'll do them separately to where they're focusing where they can focus on what I'm doing with them on the bench. That way they're not trying to play with the other one. And when they hit the ground, they'll run whatever for a few minutes or so, and then the nose is to the ground. So I mean that's a good sign at a
Right.
very early age.
Right.
They're working on their nose. I mean, they might not be looking for no game or anything like that, but they're using their nose. They're
That's
trying
right.
to
That's right.
they're
Uh,
trying to
how
get that scent in there.
how's that dog your dad's doing? Is it doing about the same?
That one I haven't taken out yet, which I'm probably gonna do here pretty soon.
Right.
I ain't, I mean, I've messed with her on the bench, and I think she's gonna do great on the bench. I mean,
Good
she is
deal.
very pretty. Sits up forward, legs straight. I mean, real pretty stance. But I'm just so scared of turning her loose right there at Dad's house because she's got some speed to be. What is she now? 4 months, 5 months old? No,
Yeah, should be right at the same age as Daniel's,
right.
ain't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Three
They're
and a half,
they're a day
4. Yeah.
younger, and I mean she's got a lot of speed. I mean, I've seen her put her nose down, but she can leave from that area pretty quick. So I'm gonna throw her in the box here in a few
No,
weeks and start walking her a little
that's
bit.
right. You talk about the speed. That's another good trait is that I like to look for is how fast that dog can run. Especially if we break into being in Virginia, we do a lot of fox hunting. We do more. There's more fox pens available, obviously, with Virginia only allowing foxes and no coyotes. So to coyote run on a basis is a little more difficult. I'm not going to say it's hard for us, but it's a little bit longer of a drive and a little bit harder to compete in the coyote world just for the fact of uh, it's harder to keep a constant train on a coyote in the speed of a coyote. But if you got one
Yeah,
that wants to get in there and run balls to the wall, and we got a phrase, look at it
yeah.
in the
Pick
fox.
its head up and look.
That's right. If that dog will pick his head up and look and absolutely jam on it and push that thing, then yeah, you better hold on to your britches because you got something.
Yeah,
And along with that, again, I know we kind of touched on it for a second back when we talked with Dennis, but a track holding. That's kind of a trait that's really important. That saber dog of mine the other night when we were running at Hollywood, it seemed like he was doing good. He impressed me in a lot of ways. He was jumping his own game. He was getting in there. He was hunting. But when he would get to a road, he would lose the track. I don't know if the fox was cutting back on him, but these foxes have also gotten really smart, and I'm sure y'all have noticed this too, as much as I have. That these foxes will come out on the road and run down the road 100 or 200 yards, and then take a weird 120-degree cut backwards and almost run in the woods parallel back with them. And if a dog ain't got the nose to keep the nose on the ground, it'll throw a dog in a second. These foxes have gotten
oh yeah,
smart.
oh yeah.
We watched it at Pools the other week. What'd
At
that one
pools.
dog do? Even that one dog, what
Uh,
did the fox do?
that fox came in and it come up in the road, done a complete 180 and went into the tall grass. And I'm telling you, there had to be at least 20 dogs that just we was looking at the fox and the dogs just run right past it. This one, the whole hunt, we don't know whose dog it was, but it wasn't Potato because that was another one we was calling, but it was something that we was just joking around and I don't forgot. I think it was Meatloaf or something
Meatloaf.
like that. It was a chunky dog, but you could tell the dog was old. It kind of had like that grayish face going on.
Right.
He'd come through there just trotting on along and with his nose down, and all of a sudden he broke out and he'd done the complete 180 like that fox did. I was like, yeah,
He never missed
that
it.
one right there. He might not be fast, but he's true to the track.
That's right.
So that's if you ever see one of your dogs do that, I don't care how slow it is, you enjoy that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that, especially in a pen.
Right. Right. But yeah, I mean, but if that dog loses, like you said, look how many dogs ran by that track. And
Oh yeah,
if you got one that can carry at least a little bit of speed and hold a track, he's beating. He may not have got the first place crossing in that and when that fox come out on the road, but if that thing made that cut and cut back, he's going to be first in line at the next road. And as long as he's got a little bit of speed, he should be able to carry that momentum and carry that speed to that track to the next
that's
crossing. And there's his first place crossing, or there's his second place. Even if he does get cut or another dog harks to it on him and comes back around him. But I love a dog like you said that can pull a track and hold to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's another thing that I kind of started enjoying, and it's just come up as I talk to other people and everything. I guess I call it a gritty dog, but a tough dog.
Right.
Something you can take that dog out and run it 3 days back to back, hard running, and it jams, it hunts, it's got the speed, and I mean, after that third day, yeah, legs might be shaking a little bit and it's tired, but you don't have to worry as far as their paws,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, their ankles, their joints. They're just an all around good, healthy, strong minded dog.
Tough dog.
Yeah.
Real tough dog.
Real. I go gritty because it just makes it sound cooler, I guess. But
that's right. Right.
But
I like gritty. I like it. No, I agree with you 100%. It seems to me, I always talk about it. I grew up in the deer stock world and the tree stock dogs, and those dogs are just naturally tough. I don't, it looks like every deer hound you get, that dog looks like it could run through a tree at 100 miles an hour, bust right through it, and keep on digging on the trail like it never got broke. I don't know what it is with those dogs. To me, it's an old school thing. You don't see, and I'm not talking trash about nobody's stuff, but it just doesn't seem like the old school quote unquote pretty dog thing is there as much anymore. It almost seems like the dogs are almost overly pampered, I guess you could say, quote unquote. I guess pamper would be I hate to use that word because it sounds like, you don't want to treat your dogs right. But at the same time, it almost, I don't know. To me, like, there's a lot of dogs that just don't want to get in there and get the nose dirty is what it seems like. Yeah. And I guess that kind of goes back to that hunting thing a little bit is you get a dog that can get in there and get that nose in there and push through the briars and almost build a immunity up to getting scratched and stuff like that. Like I know when my deer hounds, when they were puppies, they would go through the briars and they'd yelp and it would hurt them a little bit. It's a briar. It's going to stick you. It's going to cut you a little bit, but nothing to get injured or nothing to get worried about. And it took them a few times, but I think after the first couple times they really got into a chase, they almost just built, for lack of terminology, an immunity to it. And
It's like they don't even think about it
no,
anymore.
they don't. They just bust right through that sucker. And hello, dear, here I am. I love that. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm glad that you brought that up. That's a really strong trait that it almost seems lost or getting lost, quote unquote, now. And I don't know why, but it
I
just
mean,
go ahead.
if you look on speed dogs, and I mean I'm not saying this is everybody, but if you look, you see a lot of people saying speed, 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 and every now and then you'll see one that says, uh, what would they put on there? Has good hunt and average speed. I would be fine with good hunt and average speed
Right,
before just the ungodly speed,
right,
just speed. It it's you don't see. I haven't seen, if you go back and think about it, you haven't seen many dogs posted saying anything about uh tough or gritty or
right,
anything like that to be a good tough dog. And I mean, that could be just because everybody else likes that trait too and wants to keep that dog for that
right.
reason.
Well,
But that's a lot of the stuff you'll see on speed dogs. I mean, it's just speed and or hunt with average speed or just average speed. I mean,
right. And there's going along with that, there's a negative trait out there too that absolutely drives me nuts. And you can ask them too. My two have a little bit of a tendency to do it, and it drives me up a wall. I can't stand a dog that runs a road.
you
I
ain't got to tell
cannot
me.
stand it. It drives me up a wall. If that dog, and that kind of goes back to the hunting thing and the grit thing. If that dog, and a dog will break down, a dog will have off days, and a dog will circle a pin if it's having one of those days and ain't feeling it. But but like you said, that dog that's got that grit, that's got that determination, it's got that hunt, it's got that drive, knows that that game ain't gonna be out there on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That dog should be in the woods hunting, trying to get the game up. That's what I live for right there. You
Yeah,
know.
that's kind of one reason why I kind of stayed in the truck most of the night, Friday night, because I wasn't too happy with what was going on. And I know Wishbone. I mean, Wishbone. I can't complain. He's got my name called. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Uh, I'd say that, but he's got my name called, and I would like to be in a hunt, not really judging, just in the pen, an actual hunt with 400 hounds, and actually see exactly what he
Mhm.
does. I
Yep.
already got an idea, but he's got the I guess you can
Cut
call
and
it a
swing.
trait.
Cut and swing.
Yeah, cut, exactly. Cut and swing. I was gonna go more along the lines of like pin smarts.
There
Okay,
you go.
I was gonna try and make it sound a little bit better, but that's exactly what it is. Is what he's doing is he will cut and swing. I mean, I've seen him do that once on the outside, and I was like,
Oh
so
yeah.
that's what you're doing.
Yep.
And I mean,
That was with our dogs. That was with my dog.
yeah, he's and he stayed true to the track for a while,
Right.
but then he it's like he doesn't. If no other dogs is on that track with him, he's gonna stop and go to the biggest pack. Which some dogs are like that. I mean, if you talk to Dennis, he'll bring up several stories that he had one dog that would, when it was in a hunt and it was running in a smaller pack, it was almost like it wasn't competitive enough for that dog's mindset. So it would leave that pack and go to the bigger pack and try and push the front.
Right.
I mean, every dog's different.
That's right.
I
That's right.
mean, it's just like a human, but even though they don't do exactly what we want them to do, they still they still
Oh
do
yeah,
what they think is in their heads
right,
what they should be doing.
right. And and that brings up a good point too. Is some of these traits can be taught.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I'll give that saber dog of mine an example. I got it from a buddy of mine. The dog was in great, good shape. It was trained well. It was a good dog. It was a good running dog, but it was a little more dependent on other dogs and chases going on than what I'd like. I'm not knocking the dog at all. I'm not knocking anything about it, but I'm just um, I have an expectation that I want a dog to live to when I have a dog, and I wanted to get a little bit more hunt in that dog. I wanted
Oh
to be
yeah.
able to and I ran that dog on the outside constantly. I mean, from the moment I get him, and I put a full hunting season in him, and I was they give me crap all the time, but I was right on the verge, and I mean, I had a post typed out and everything, and I was gonna sell him. Somebody else that likes the dog that pulls to hunts and does his own, does that kind of thing. It'd be great for him. Like if a dog would probably do great in coyote pens if you could get him like a coyote a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was gonna start looking for somebody that could use him more for that, for what traits he had. Then all of a sudden, that sap sucker decided he wanted to start jumping and running game on his own, and I guess he just finally picked it up. Or we joke about it all the time. And he heard that I was going to get rid of him, and he didn't want to. He didn't want to leave. So, but I feel like the hunting thing. I'm not going to say to a grade one standard, to A+ standard, but a dog that has a little bit of hunt has hunt, and it can
Yeah.
be improved. It can really be improved. And I think Saber's a great example of that. He had a little bit of hunt, it's just not to my standard. And now I like Hollywood. He was in there, the other night, and he got into the woods and jumped and ran his own game. I was over the moon with that, to be able to go in the pen and get in there and do that. I was happy. I was happy as a clam.
Yeah.
Um, another one that can be built into a dog that we haven't really touched on is stamina, and that goes along with your grit too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Stamina.
You know,
Wishbone, I'd have to say he's got the stamina.
absolutely.
I have seen that he's got good stamina for his age. I mean, he's not even two, so I mean,
That dog
real
just don't
good.
know how to stop.
No, he does not want to stop. He doesn't stop until he hears that tone go off, and then
That's
he's like,
right.
"Oh, I better, I better
Yeah,
stop."
that's right. That's right. Yeah, you're right. He's got great stamina, and that can be built.
Hmm.
Uh, there's lots of things that you can do to build stamina. Obviously, the easiest one is running dogs and keeping them moving and keeping them healthy. But you got sometimes where it's a little harder to get into a pen to pleasure run, or there's a leash law in effect, or like right now, turkey season starts Saturday. So,
Yep.
for a couple weeks until 12 o'clock on a Saturday or during any day during the week, we can't turn our dogs loose because we'll mess up somebody's hunt. So, but you can swim dogs during the summer if you got a lake, or if you're lucky enough to have a swim tank. Um, there you go. You can swim them, and everybody. I've heard all kinds of different stories, but the one that seems the most realistic to me is about 30 minutes of swimming for a dog is equivalent to somewhere between 4 or 5 hours of hard running. And it's not a cruel thing. It's not a we're putting these dogs in there and they're getting choked, and we're going to let them drown if they don't swim. Blah blah blah. It's nothing like that. I can, at least speaking for myself, I'm in there with the dog. I've
Hmm.
gone full bodied. I'm in there with them. I'm standing right beside them, and I just got a leash on them, and I'm letting them swim in circles. If it looks like they're getting too tired or can't take it no more, then I'll pull them out and rest them, and they're done. That's all I can ask for them to do. But that's another good way to build a trait is stamina. I mean, speed can be built a little bit, but that's more hereditary. And another hereditary side, um, we don't know necessarily the most about this because we've always focused on the hunting side of the fox trials, and obviously there's none of this in the deer woods, but the bench show. Daniel, I think both of your puppies' parents are bench champions. Is that right? Or is it just the one?
It's just the one, I think.
Okay, I couldn't remember, but them two puppies of yours stand really pretty.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally got the one to calm down enough to stand for us.
That was impressive the other day.
Yeah, so and he's doing better and better each time.
Right, right, and that's a lot of the stuff you kind of like I said, we're not experts at it by any means. Is if that dog's
That's
got
something new we're getting into.
right, and I'm hoping I got to talk to him. Our buddy Steve Murphy. I'm going to try to get him maybe here in the next week or so. Get him on the show, and give everybody an episode on benching and what you go for. But the one thing I'm excited to hear him talk about is everybody. It seems like there's a word, confirmation, that they use when they're describing a dog that's going to win a bench show. Is look at the confirmation on that dog. I kind of want to. I want to dig into that word and really figure out exactly what confirmation they're talking about. From my understanding, it's standing up on their front toes, leaning up, the 90 degrees on the back feet, and that kind of stuff. But there's rules into that stuff, and we'll dive into that whenever we do get Steve. There's leg height rules and ear length and stuff like that. So, and none of that can be told at a puppy's age, but the way a dog stands, my male of the litter, he's got a really pretty look. I'm excited. If that dog don't run a biscuit, I think he's got a good chance to at least bring home a bench trophy.
My male out of the same litter
Yeah,
is doing the same thing.
right.
I put him up on the table and put him up at Easter to show my grandparents. Put him on the table and got him situated. I let go of him completely almost. I just was brushing his tail and he just stood there for I know at least a good few minutes. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
you might be a little something here. So I mean it's surprising, and honestly, if you think about it, their dad is a bench champion.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I'm almost wondering if that could be some type of trait that somehow or another gets into that dog. I mean, of course you got to work with any dog to make them do that. But at 3 months old, and that dog, you can take it out the lot and let it run, and when it stops, it's that perfect pose.
Yeah.
Every time it stops. I guess that might be the confirmation. Maybe. I mean, I would like to dig into that word some more to get a better idea of what confirmation is. But to me, when they do that and stand just pretty as you please at a dead stop after running full blast and just lock up,
I love
and they're right there, just perfect.
I love it.
It's like that's just a beautiful stance. If a hound, go ahead.
Go ahead. Keep on going. You were in a roll.
I would, if a hound comes by me in a fox pen, and I mean, I know you get scratched for loafing or whatever, but he just stops dead in his tracks and he stands pretty like that.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have to count to at least 10 Mississippi before I write anything down, because I mean, it's to me that dog.
It's picture worthy.
Yeah, you're out here. Yeah, it's just something you would see in a magazine.
Yeah,
and that's another thing I like in the foxhound world. It's just it's not just the running, and it's not just like bragging rights. I mean, everybody's got the bragging
Oh
that
yeah.
they do, but a hound that is just that picture perfect moment. I would fill my walls with anybody's dog that just picture perfect.
Right.
It's
I joke,
it's hard to explain. It's just the picture perfect moment.
I joke with the wife all the time that I'm gonna get some professional pictures taken of all my dogs and start putting them on the stairway going down to the basement.
Oh yeah,
And just
it's.
have that whole wall filled with dog pictures.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, I want to start. I'd like to start doing something like that in my man cave, which
Right.
uh is get a picture of that dog with its name and planning on how many trophies. Like you never know how many trophies you're gonna win with a dog,
That's
but
right.
like try and put some trophies around that picture,
I like that. That's a good idea.
and that way you got memories. That's just like my dad. He's got that Watson's Mary. That's that's what he named that dog that we had, which he's got a puppy name now that is Watson's Mary, but it's Ghost Kennels Watson's Mary. It's kind
You
of
gonna have
weird, but
you gonna have fun writing that down at the hunts.
yeah. But he has a big picture over his mantle of him and that dog. So, and
Right.
that's the only dog he kept when he got out of it until that dog passed.
Yeah.
That's how much that dog meant to him.
The dog earned her spot.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. But I say that's a pretty good little gist of a lot of the traits and that we look for in these dogs. Like I said at the beginning, is everybody's got their style and everybody's got the certain things that they look for. But for us in particular, that's that's something that we look for as owners of dogs. But when we post this episode to the Facebook page, if y'all aren't following us on Facebook yet and you're out there listening, uh, be sure to find us on Facebook, Hounds Tales Podcast. But when we post this episode, y'all comment some stuff that y'all like out of a dog. There's been a lot of good interaction on the Facebook page. I've really, really enjoyed that. And I think we're knocking on the door of 300 followers on Facebook, ain't it?
Yeah, it's consistent people every day joining in. So I mean, it's steadily climbing.
I love it. Y'all feel free to spread the word, share the page, share the podcast. We
Yeah, and share any. Let us know what y'all want to hear. I know a few people said they wanted to hear a little bit of like uh the difference between the foxhounds and some trigs and
yeah,
which I don't know much about trigs and stuff. I'll do some research when we get to that point.
right,
And then some others wanted to hear some stuff about like home remedies for certain stuff as far as medicine,
right.
trying to help your dog at home. If y'all have any ideas, throw it in there on our Facebook page and I mean if anything, if we don't know a whole lot about one subject, whatever we can find out, we'll try to mix a bunch of stuff together
That's right.
to to make sure y'all get what y'all are wanting to hear.
Yeah,
So
I,
just shoot us something, let us know.
yeah. They're not going unseen. We will try to like the comment or get back to you in the comments. But like Dylan said, we've seen them, and especially like you said, the difference in the dogs and where they come from. That's a lot of that's going to be an interesting little thing to look up and really kind of go back on and see.
Yeah. And I mean, there's actually somebody posted it. I read about it a while back. I don't forget where I read it. I think it was online. I was doing some research, but a guy posted on our Facebook page. I have to go back and see his name, but it was the full story of how the American foxhound was brought
Mm-hmm.
to America and
Oh
the
yeah.
different breeds that made that one foxhound. And but if I'd have to go back and see if I can find the website, but it actually has a full story of what kind of foxhounds and traits they were looking for and in that day of time, because they would much rather run the red fox than the gray fox, because the red fox, that sucker's slick.
Yeah.
It's surprising. It's very surprising how much a gray fox and a red fox are different
Uh-huh.
as far as using their head. I mean, they're both smart. Don't get me wrong, but that red one, he's slick. But I'll see if I can go back and find that website. It's a very good read. Very
Right.
good read.
It's like you said, it's on our Facebook page. So if you scroll down a little ways, you can definitely find it if you're out there listening. It's like you said, it's a great read. It really is. There's a lot of good reads and kind of that touch on similar topics and ideas in the in the magazines that we get, the Chase and Hunter's Horn. They'll
Yeah.
touch on it and touch on some of the old school hunts and hunts back in the day and that kind of thing. So it's there's a lot of information out there, but we'll be sure here soon to get an episode on that. And I really like that home remedy idea. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things that we do, um, that there are certain ways to help a dog advance, or if there is something going on, uh, there's certain ways that you can help a dog out and avoid having to pay a costly vet bill. But that'll be
Yeah.
a that'll
And I
be a
mean,
fun one to do.
if anybody that's listening has any home remedies for anything, I'm talking uh ticks and worming and kennel cough, uh
Hmm.
just anything, throw it on there on our Facebook, because I mean there are new people out there that's just getting into this, just like Daniel, and also me and James, we're still learning. This is only, which we've had hounds, but the fox pen stuff is our second year now, so we're still learning ourselves. So anything that we don't know that would help us out too, as far as home remedies, that would be awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. But like you said, we're we're looking, we're seeing them, and we're taking notes. And if it's something we got to do research on, we will be sure to bring it along. We really, really, really enjoyed doing this, and we've got a lot of positive feedback where we got the emblem worked up, the decal. I'm gonna try to get one put on my truck and get some made for you two guys, and we keep getting a little bit bigger. Maybe that's something that we can have for y'all, and
Yeah.
that'd be something kind
I
of
mean,
cool to see.
if y'all would like merchandise of anything, I mean, if that's what if we get enough people saying, "Hey, we want merchandise," then that would be something we'd probably look into to provide it at hunts. And then also we'd probably throw in for some like charity hunts and stuff like that, just to
Right?
donate it for the charity. So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
And we haven't really talked about it because we weren't sure about how big this thing was going to be. But 8 weeks into it, and we got the Anchor app that we use to record the episodes. It talks about it gives us data on everything, and we've already reached over 1,000 views on our episodes. Um, we have a constant 190 people that almost weekly listen to it. It's roughly an estimated audience of 190 people right now. So 8 weeks and it's that far. Thank y'all. That's
yeah,
incredible. That's
highly
incredible.
appreciate it.
But
Because I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
we started this out to do this as something fun, and try to get more information out there for other people, and
it's taken
it
off.
seems to be taking off. So I mean, that's awesome.
But and I think one of the things that we'll try to strive for on doing on this is if there is any money to be made, like if we sell merchandise, if we get to the point where we're big enough to have merchandise, or if people want to make donations, we'll return it and make a donation back to any organization that's helping keep the sport alive. As we get
Or
bigger,
we can do like we could do hunts
Right.
as we got bigger.
Yeah.
Like charity hunts for anybody.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
as far as anything, I mean,
Yeah.
there could be anything for anything. So
Anything like that, we're gonna, we'll be. That's our goal, is to make this sport stay alive. So if there's something that we can do monetary wise, we're going to try to do it once that stuff starts kind of flowing. If it does, if it does get that big, or we're going to try to start looking into ways that we can help make a difference and do better about being a part of that. Information is great, and doing the show is great. It definitely helps, especially if people on the outside of the sport start listening. But if we can do something physically about it, we're going to see what we can do about getting in there. So,
I would love to make this I wouldn't say hobby, but this style of hunting, I would love for it to just blow up.
Yeah.
Over the whole US. I mean, I know there's certain states that still do it, and there's states that don't do it. But if you get enough people into it, and they will push their governors and everybody to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get people out there to push, eventually it will come.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, don't be scared to speak up and fight for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, thank y'all so much for listening. Seems like every time we turn around or we get around a fox pen, we mention the show, or hell, sometimes people just come up to us and just tell us they appreciate the show and appreciate listening.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
No clue who they are, and they just walk up. Hey, y'all are Dylan and Daniel and James with the podcast. I was like, yep, that's us. That's pretty awesome. I kind of feel a little famous on that,
right?
But that's a great feeling.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. So, but I believe that's a good little topic and covering there. We'll kind of go into the hunter results here. This is going to be a pretty long episode. I'd say it's probably the longest one.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little better with this. I hope we were pretty entertaining. So last week I definitely missed some hunts, and we'll try to get these to you real quick. And it was part of the Masters series of hunts and stuff, and I do apologize for that. I'm gonna try to get this name right. The Masters Pontotoc County 3-day Fox Hunters Association hunt was, I believe, the week before last. Looked like it was a pretty good hunt. The all-age side, BBK's Over the Hill was your winner. The dog come out of HW's Chance, Junior Smith, and Blaine's Miss Freckles out of BBK Stead Ready Kennels. Second place was Turd Hill Soul Sister. That dog is from BBK Stay Ready Kennels, and that dog is also your combination winner. And your third place hound was Smoke Top's Little B out of Coyote Commander's Kennels. The Derby, Bull Mountains Robbie was your winner. That dog is out of FRA's Bros Thigh Bone and RPM's Puddin'. I like that, Puddin'.
Did you say bros what?
Thigh bone.
Thigh bone.
Thigh bone.
Okay.
Yep. From Full Count Kennels. Second place goes to Pinedale's Whisper B from Pinedale's Kennel. And third place was BBK's Mary Kay out of BBK Stay Ready Kennels. Looks like BBK had a pretty good little day down there.
BBK was jamming, it sounded like.
Also, the 95 Southern Open 3-day was the same weekend, I believe. First place dog was K Plus J's Purple Rain. That dog is out of K Plus J's TJ and K Plus J's Hannah out of K Plus J Kennels. That's how it was wrote down on the books. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be KNJ or if it's K Plus J is how it's wrote. So I do apologize if that was messed up. Second place was Daniel's Little Bit out of Daniel Brothers Kennels. And third place was champion Hollow Oaks Trump at a Hollow Oaks kennel. All right.
Like that.
And for this past weekend, I didn't see a whole lot of hunts going on. There were some hunts that I saw some results and I just couldn't get pictures clear enough to read them. And I do apologize. I know there were some that didn't get posted. If y'all want your hunts posted and spoken on here, feel free to send me a private message and send me the pictures. It comes through a lot better on a private message than it does getting posted on Facebook. I don't know why. I don't know why it does. There was comments on my post in Speed Dogs that I couldn't make out the picture on the comments, but I got them to send me a picture of it through a message, and it come up clear as day. So if y'all want them, send them, and I'll be sure to get them in here. But the Round O Fox Run had a younger derby and puppy hunt. The puppy side took 830 points to win. First place dog was Mizzle's Pretty Girl at a Mizzle's Forest and Mizzle's Chloe from Keep 'em Crying Kennels. I like that name, Keep 'em Crying. Second place.
That was us the other weekend.
That's right. Danny, you should have named your kennel Stay Crying.
Yeah.
Second place goes to Hester Boys Ann at a Hester Boys Kennel. And third place, and this guy's been on a roll down in these puppy hunts here recently. The East Aditso Hoss at the East Aditso Kennel. Rolling on with him, he took the Young Derby side. It took 695 points to win it. And East Aditso's Streak was the winner. The dog's at a B&B's Turbo and Effort's Legs at a East Aditso Kennel. Huckstep's Rowdy at a Huckstep Kennels was your second place dog. And Hester Boys Deacon at a Hester Boys Kennel. Now, I didn't seen that name a few times, a Hester Boys Deacon.
Oh, yeah. Danger Boy. No.
Mm-mm.
I think of something else.
Let's see. Yeah. And I know the big hunt, as far as last weekend goes, that I seen was Tar River. I believe they had a heck of a performance. A couple of our friends were down there. I know Little Mule, he was down there. I think he put up 8th in the all age, if I'm not mistaken. But your all age winner was Dalton Spanky. The dog's out of Whiskey Creek Rebate and Whiskey Creek Carry. Rudd's Creek Kennels. Brian Dalton is also the name of that guy that owns that dog. Congratulations to him. This one, I want to find out who this guy is. I want to find out what Reedy Creek he's a part of. But this is Reedy Creek Kennels is your second place kennel, and that dog's name was Reedy Creek Blondie. Third place, SVK's Black Cherry, and that dog comes out of Stanton View Kennels. The combination winner for the all age was Champion Broke Right's Ghost, and that dog is out of Champion Broke Right's Assassin and Broke Right's Grace from Power Drive Kennels. The Derby, Bull Run's Wyatt was your winner. Ray's Ace J and Ray's Wendy at a Bold Run Kennels was your winner, and that dog is also the combination winner down there. That's a show right there. That's some stuff that I want to. That's a goal. Go down there and win the hunt and be the combination winner. Second place, Trevor's Polly M out of Farm Boy Kennels. I'm pretty sure that I read that right. I know it was a touch blurry on that little section for some reason. And then third place, bringing it back home, Country Oaks Rocket out of Country Oaks Kennel.
There we go.
Let's see. Also, I got a request. James Diener sent me a message, and appears we have some Beagle guys out there listening. I appreciate you listening, buddy, and I got you right here. I got the results from the Easter Hunt Club hunt, and it was part of the Outside Beagle Association 2020 to 2021 series. I think this was the last hunt. I didn't see the points or anything like that. I may have overlooked them. I'm sorry if I did. Now, this is something neat, and I meant to kind of talk with y'all about this before, but and we don't know nothing about the Beagle side of the sport as far as the competition side. They split them into females and males.
Run them separately.
Yeah, well, it's run together or scored separate.
Really?
Yep, I thought that was pretty neat. But the female side took 270 points to win. That dog's name was Lulu, out of West Creek's Ludicrous and Larkin Mountain Gaga, out of Southern Spotsy's Kennel. Whiskey was your second place dog at a Southern Styles Kennel, and third place was Gaga at a Jeff. Dogs. The owner was Jeff Colvin. The male side took 410 points to win. The first place hound was called Batman. That dog was at a GFC Southern Style Megatron and field champions Southern Styles Flip Flop at a Southern Style Kennel. Cody was the name of the second dog at a Seth Soggy Bottom Kennels, and Snapchat was third at a Matthews Mafia Kennel. For all the Beagle hunters out there that are into it and looking for hunts, that series, the North Carolina, I think it was, I may be wrong on that, the Beagle Outside Association, their next hunt that they had listed was going to be at Stony Creek Fox Pen on May the 15th. I'm not sure if that's going to start the next point system or series or what the deal is with that, but they that's when the next hunt they had posted that I've seen. I'd like to get a little more information on the Beagle side. It seems a little different, seems kind of cool, you know. Maybe that's something we'll have to dive into later down the road and kind of work with that some.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty neat. All right. That's all the results that I have as far as from the past couple weekends. Again, if you want your results posted and you hosted a hunt, or if you're a pen and you want to send me the results, top 3, if you just want to type it out, that's fine. If not, send me a good picture that comes through clear of the results of the top 3, and we'll be sure to get them in here for you. Upcoming hunts. Let's see. We'll start off the Border Wars at 95 Fox Run. The dog must be horn registered to be in this, and I believe the book might be full already. It starts on April the 16th and 17th. That looks like it's going to be a pretty good one. WS&T Fox Pen is going to have a 2-class puppy hunt this weekend, April the 10th. Foxtail, the North Carolina Running Hound Association hunts this weekend. It's a Derby all-age hunt. I believe that's going to be a pretty big hunt. It's a bench show. It's a double points. It goes towards the test of the best. Kind of almost wish that we would have broke down and got some numbers, but we got our butts drug around down last time we were at Foxtail. So
you take a dog down there, you better have a jammer. That's all I've got.
Yeah, that's Mini Tar River. That's what I call it. That's Little Tar River.
Yeah,
they do an excellent job with that pen. It's a balls to the wall running pen. Next hunt they have posted that I've seen, the Jamesville Hunt Club's having a Derby all age on April the 24th. Next up on my list, 95 Fox Run this weekend is having the Brian Boykin Benefit Hunt. It's a puppy and derby hunt this weekend, April the 10th. Looks like it's going to a pretty good cause. I don't have all the details on the hunt and what it is, but any kind of benefit hunt that can be put on by this sport is a beautiful thing. So good job, guys. Y'all make sure y'all get down there. It's a little bit of a hike for us. It's down in South Carolina for us. So that's one that maybe when we get some more powerful dogs, we'll come down there and see y'all. But also this weekend, the Bushy Tail Fox Preserve is having a puppy hunt on this Sunday, I believe. It's the April 11th. Next on my list, Grassy Branch Fox Preserve is having a 2-class puppy hunt April 17th. Sandy Ridge Fox Preserve is having a church benefit hunt. It's also a puppy hunt on April the 24th. This one I can't wait to see. This guy, I hope y'all take plenty of pictures and post plenty of pictures and maybe take some videos and stuff. The Piedmont Training Preserve is having the guys versus gals hunt It's an all-age speed and drive on April the 24th. That looks like it's going to be fun. Also on the 24th, Bay Bush is having a May and under hunt. Again, that's on April the 24th. The championship money hunt series starts this weekend on April the 10th at Bay City Fox Preserve. The guys that we were running with this weekend in Hollywood, I believe they were making that trip down there. And that championship money hunt series continues the following weekend at Round O Fox Run on April the 17th. Let's see. Next up on the list, here's a far distance one. The 2021 Sunshine State Hunt is going to be at now this one's going to fool you a little bit, the Carolina Running Pens down in Alabama, April the 8th through the 10th. That's a 3-day hunt. Also, another one out in the distance for all my Midwest listeners out there. The Midwest Masters is having a 3-day at Country Corner Fox Pen in Roston, Arizona. That's one of them ones that if we ever get some powerful dogs, I'd like to be able to go somewhere like that and just to see what we can pair with all across the country.
Oh, I'm gonna make that trip to at least Mississippi at least once.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Then our big locals, Pools, Fox Preserve. Dylan, I know you're going to this. The United Eastern 1-day speed and drives this weekend. My cousin Stacey's going down there as well. So good luck to y'all. Y'all bring some hardware back. We had our first no hardware or no placement hunt last weekend or the weekend before last. So get us back into it.
I hope so.
But I'm resting mine. Also at Pools next weekend, and I cannot wait for this. The 100th Maryland State Fox Chasers Association is going to be April the 16th through the 18th. If you haven't paid your money yet, get it with Missy and get her paid. That way you get locked in. I believe that there might have been still a few spots left that haven't been locked in. If not, get on the waiting list and be patient. Hopefully we can get it. Hopefully it's going to be a good show. I know it is. I can't wait to get down there and have a good time. The following weekend, the Dundas Hunt Club is April the 24th hunt. Following weekend after that, the Tatum Road Hunt Club is having their hunt on May the 1st. Both of those are speed and drive hunts. And the next one that I have on my schedule as far as at Pools goes, the 50th annual Virginia International Fox Hound Club. That is a 1-day HGA hunt. The numbers go out the 10th. The post, I believe, was a little confusing, but it said the 4th on the post, but somewhere she had it corrected, and it was 10th. The numbers should go out on the 10th at 6 o'clock. And definitely looking forward to that hunt. I love a good HGA hunt down at Pools. So hopefully we'll get some numbers for it and get down there and have a good time. Last but not least, the Tar River Fox Preserve, West Virginia State 3-day is April the 29th through May 2nd. And I've seen that they added, I believe, a 1-day on May the 8th, the Mecklenburg County hunt. We'll have to get some details on that hunt and see if maybe we'll have to make a trip down there. But
sounds like a plan to me.
That
I know you got I'm not sure if the book is closed yet, but it's the Churchill Hunting Club.
That's right.
April 17th. Well, it's the 17th morning. They're doing a puppy hunt. I ain't got all the information on that. I had it, and I just talked to the guy too. What is the Fox Pen? Is it
Tower Hill?
Turpin's Creek.
Is it Turpin's Creek?
It's Turpin's Creek. They're having one the 17th of this month. I'll see if I can get the information and post it on our Facebook page if I need to.
Yep.
I know it's a 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. run.
Yep.
It is
early run.
I just don't know. I can't remember
The contact.
what months they're going for as far as the age of the puppies. So,
Yeah, y'all will be down there judging
but
that.
yeah, me and Daniel will be down there judging that hunt.
I'll be.
So if anybody wants any information on it, send us a message, and we'll see if we can work up something for you.
That'll work. Well, I believe that pretty well covers it then, don't it, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Believe so.
Good deal. Good deal. Again, I can't thank y'all enough for listening. I believe we've kept y'all long enough for this one, and I won't give my full spiel. Any kind of association, there's the North Carolina Wildlife Pen Association. They're doing big things down in Carolina. There's the North Carolina Running Hound Association. If you can find an association and dig into them, and if that's something that your heart set that maybe you can donate to, like the Virginia Dog Hunters Association. There's I think there's the Virginia Running Hounds Association too. There's all kinds of different groups and stuff like that. But if you feel it in your heart to go out there and donate, make sure you do it. Give another shout out to our friends at Chestnut Mountain Feed. If you're Central Virginia, around the Concord, Lynchburg, Appomattox area, be sure to give them a look and go pay them a visit, mention our names, and tell them we sent you over there. And I believe that pretty well covers it. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for the support. Share. Spread the word. We love doing this. Really enjoy it. Thank y'all for the positive feedback. If there's something we can do better or do more of, any advice is good advice. So thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. Happy hunting, everybody.